What's up, YouTube? It's Dan from Daft Previews, and I'm back. I've got another 5 picks to share with you today, and one of those just happens to be a value play. So stick around. It's going to get exciting up in here. Let's get straight into it. Our very first play, I like Scotty Barnes for over 21.5 points. Now, Scotty Barnes has only covered this line in 14 of 31 games this season. He's averaging 21 points per game. His recent form, though, has left me feeling mildly wrecked. Covering this line in 7 of his last 10 games, averaging almost 25 points per game in that span. He's averaging 35 minutes and 17 shot attempts per game in his last 10, which is a real focal point for this bet. In his last matchup against the Detroit Pistons, he only played 25 minutes, shot the ball 11 times, and he finished on 17 points. The Raptors, they blew them out by 30 plus points in that game. Now, despite the Detroit Pistons riding the longest losing streak in NBA history, I did watch their last game up against the Boston Celtics, and that team honestly doesn't look as bad as their record suggests. Now, I don't bet sides and totals, but I do have a strong feeling that this isn't going to be another blowout. So I'm expecting Scotty to play 30 to 35 minutes. He'll take at least 15 shot attempts in this game. He'll score from downtown. He'll make a few free throws. Ultimately, he's going to be cashing this bet for us. Scotty Barnes over 21.5 points. Now we're staying in the same game, but what better way to bounce back from an 0-3 day by crashing a value same game parlay? So this is our value play of the day, and we're taking Cade Cunningham from the Detroit Pistons over 25 points, 5 rebounds, and under 8 assists. That's $6.25 or plus $5.25 for those of you in the US. So we are back in Cade Cunningham once again. He cashed his points line for us against the Boston Celtics, and I'm hoping he cashes this line for us today. Quick word on his points. He's crushing it lately. He's covered in 4 of his last 5 games. He's averaging 33 points per game. If anyone is going to lead this Pistons team to ever win a game, it's Cade Cunningham. Looking at his rebounds, very much the same form. He's covered in 4 of his last 5 games, averaging 6 rebounds per game. He's also covered this in 3 consecutive games against the Raptors with 5, 12, and 7 rebounds. Now, what I would say is the riskiest part of this bet is taking his under 7.5 assists. Now, he's only covered this line in 12 of 31 games this year, but over his last 5, he's covered this twice with totals of 10 assists against the Utah Jazz and 9 assists against the Celtics. I think the line is just about right, and Cade gets very close to this, but I am leaning the under for 2 reasons. 1, over 4 career games against the Toronto Raptors, he hasn't tallied more than 5 assists in a game against them. The second reason, the rest of these Pistons outside of Bogdanovic absolutely suck on the offensive end. They are the reason that team keeps losing. Cade's been killing it. Let's go. Now, if you're not feeling the value play, I guess the easy pivot, and it's another single bet that I'm playing, would be to take his over 29.5 points and rebounds. He's averaging 39 points and rebounds over his last 5 games. Now let's go Cade. So before we jump to the next pick, I want to give a shout out to Luke Goetz 3942 for his comment on the last video. He said, great show and analysis. As usual, putting together a parlay of SGA, 5 rebounds and assists. JW for 18 points. Boosted, $25 makes $110. If you have any analysis that you think a player will go off or even shut down, please shout it out. And the reason why I'll call this comment out is because it lets me know what you, the audience, would like to see on this channel. If I do have some thoughts on other plays I'm not betting, I'll be trying to share those more often for those of you who do love to build some parlays. But for not only Luke, but everyone else who engaged in the last video, I do want to say a big thank you. That was by far the most popular video that I've created on this channel. I'm crying on the inside that the picks sucked, but look, that's betting. I am real motivated to keep delivering these picks on a daily basis, and if you do appreciate the effort, please drop me a comment, like the video, and sub if you're new. As always, please watch to the end. YouTube loves that shit. Now let's get back into the picks. We're staying in the same game, believe it or not. I like Jalen Duren for 10 points and 10 rebounds, so we're taking him for a double-double. Now, taking Duren for 10 points and 10 rebounds, depending on where you're from, it often has higher odds compared to just picking him for a double-double. So check those out in your sports book to see whether you can get better odds for this play. So Jalen Duren has had a few injuries this year. Started off amazingly, breakout year, then he started to get a few injuries. So he's only played 16 games. But the exciting thing for us here, And the arousing thing for us is he's had a double-double in 12 of those games, which is a remarkable 75% hit rate. Now, if we believe we have a 75% chance of hitting this bet today based on the form he's shown this season, we should be seeing odds of $1.33 or minus 300. For this play, we're getting $1.90, which is minus 111. So take that how you like it. I'm not too sure whether that's right or not, but hey. So Duran is up against the Raptors, and more notably, Jakob Poeltl, who I would say is pretty average when you think about centers in the league. He's not bad, but he's not great either. The Raptors, they've allowed some decent scoring and rebounding games for opposing bigs this year. Check these players out. Luke Cornett from the Boston Celtics, 20 points and 8 rebounds, filling in for Porzingis. Nick Richards from the Charlotte Hornets, 10 points and 10 rebounds. Clint Capella, 18 points and 15 rebounds. And in the same game, the center off the bench, Okongwu, had 14 points and 11 rebounds. 2 nights prior, they versed Atlanta again. Capella, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Okongwu, 14 points and 11 rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein from the Knicks, 11 points and 8 rebounds. Orlando Robinson from Miami, 15 points and 12 rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic from the Phoenix Suns, 19 points and 14 rebounds. Now, these all happened in the last 4 weeks. And I've also excluded the totals at the 2 games that they played against Joel Embiid. There's no point mentioning him. Because, look, outside of Capella and Nurkic, I would say Duran is a more formidable force inside in comparison to all of those other players. So to get him for 10 points and 10 rebounds against a team that doesn't defend centers very well, I'm more than happy to take him. He's back. He's 2 games back from injury now. He's playing his full complement of 30-plus minutes per game. He had 12 points, 15 rebounds against the Nets, and he followed up with 15 points and 14 rebounds against the Celtics. So let's go, Jalen. Our final pick for this video, Anthony Edwards, over 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, Andy's only averaging 36.6 points, rebounds, and assists this season. He's covered this line in only 11 from 27 games. Despite this form, the line is set at 40.5 against the Lakers, which means the sportsbook are expecting something better than his average in this game. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns is listed as questionable once again. He was listed as questionable in his last 2 games, which he played in, although he was quite limited in his effectiveness, playing less than 30 minutes in both games. Even if he does suit up, we can expect to see much of the same, which will give Anthony Edwards more opportunity to cook. In his last matchup against the Lakers just over a week ago, Anthony Edwards, 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. It's a total of 39 PRA, which he shot the ball only 19 times. I'm expecting him to take more than 19 shots in this game, given Karl-Anthony Towns not even close to 100%. If he sits, even better. But I really think Edwards will put up more than 20 shots in this game. The Lakers don't have any defenders in their backcourt, so Ant will be able to do whatever he pleases. Now, the shot attempts for this play are a very important stat. Obviously, it supports his ability to hit his points line, but it's especially important for a player like Anthony Edwards. When he's taking a lot of shots, it means he's heavily involved in the game, so you'll see an uplift in his rebounds and in his assists. So check this stat out. In his last 112 games, he's averaging 25 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 4.7 assists, good for 35 PRA. In the 57 games where he's shot 20-plus times, he averages 31 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, good for a PRA of 44. So we're basically betting on heavy involvement from Edwards in this one. Good luck if you choose to ride with me. Now let's get into the recap of the day that was. So we did have a losing day on these YouTube picks. We were 0 for 3. God, that was rough. First play was Jalen Williams over 17.5 points. We had SGA over 11.5 rebounds and assists. So I want to talk about those 2 together because they were within the same game, and I read that script completely wrong. Jalen Williams turned into Magic Johnson, passed on the rock like crazy, a lot of assists. I think he only finished on 11 points. Ultimately, a blowout to the Oklahoma City Thunder. SGA to get 12 rebounds and assists. Didn't happen. He was scoring like a madman. Josh Giddey played a lot of minutes with SGA. He put down a lot of rebounds and got a lot of assists, so absolutely sucked. Tyrese Maxey, I said that there's a chance he could explode, and my God, he exploded. Over 40 points against the Houston Rockets. He blew this points and assist line in points alone, so fat L for us. So minus 6 units on the day. look, it was a losing day on YouTube, but not a losing day overall. In the Discord where I shared all of my picks, we're up 9.36 units today. Player props did kick my ass, but I did share some value plays and same game multis and parlays in the Discord. We're 7.1 units profit on the same gamers and 6.5 units on the value plays. So I'm currently in the process of warming up a new account after getting restricted by the sportsbook on my old ones. So I'm playing a lot more same game parlays just to, throw them off a little bit. So if you're interested in joining not joining those, if you're interested in tailing those, you can jump into the Discord and check it out. But look, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So I'm either going to get a video out nice and early, or I'm going to be extremely drunk by the time I film it and record it. So we shall see. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. Here's that outro that you've all been waiting for. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.